That one.
The list is decommissioned.
Perfect. Let's go see Laredo.
Laredo's busy with that witch Sheila. Come back later.
Geralt, let's wait downstairs in the yard.
Did...
Yes?
Do we wait until the Honorable Lady is done with the Venerable Hick?
Waste of time. Looks like a good number of Flotsam's town watchmen are here. We should look around. Did you see that arbalist behind the house? I'll get his attention. Give him something to think about. Why don't you find out what they're guarding so closely?
My apologies, gentlemen. I could not help overhearing your conversation.
What do you want?
In point of fact, it's a matter for the Witcher. I have an offer.
An offer? Interesting.
I suspect you did not come to Flotsam for pleasure alone.
You suspect right.
Do you know about the monster in the river?
Might have heard something.
I expect someone will hire you to deal with it sooner or later. Thus, I presume that...
Stop presuming, expecting, and concluding. Just tell me what you want.
Our honored host is in possession of part of a trap, built especially for the beast in question.
Go on.
Around back, there's a storage area where Laredo keeps the treasures he confiscates from merchants and travelers. There are heaps of things out there.
Let me guess. You know exactly where I need to look.
Precisely. I saw Laredo's men carrying the contraption across the garden in a crate. They placed it on a platform by the wall, beyond which lies the craftsman's district.
Why are you telling me?
Why? We need to be rid of the beast as soon as possible. Good luck!
All right. I'll distract the guard. You sneak behind the house.
Brilliant as ever.
Soldier, report to me immediately!
What do you want?
Shut it, soldier! Have respect for it.
In Flotsam, we cut the hands off thieves.
I was looking for the privy.
You're lucky the Commandant wants to see you. Come on!
Commandant, sir. We caught the Witcher sneaking around the garden.
Bring him in and leave.
Yes, sir.
We were just discussing a certain matter. You here on business too?
The Commandant wanted to see me.
In that case, I shall leave you to it.
Finally!
They didn't want to let me in while the sorceress was here.
Did you see her? Made up like a whore on parade day. They think they can do anything, those sorceresses. I heard what happened in Temeria. You know your name's on a warrant. It's unfortunate, though nothing that should impede our dealings. See, I'm the law round here, and the law needs to know what the legendary White Wolf's doing in this cesspit.
I'm looking for the man responsible for Foltest's death.
Here?
I know the Scoia'tael had a hand in it too. It's their trail I followed to Flotsam.
Lucky you found Bernard Laredo then. If you're telling the truth, your vet's got raw blood on his hands. I can help you find him.
The Kingslayer. That's who I want. Huge man, pretty hard to mistake.
Was it him?
Yeah, he killed Foltest. Now he's sneaking around these woods.
In that case, we'll get him too. I trust you're on our side.
Whose side is that?
That of the people of Flotsam, of course. Terrorized by the elven bandits for years now.
A local conflict, none of my business.
You killed some elves on the riverbank outside Flotsam.
We were attacked.
You failed to understand.
It's you who doesn't understand, Laredo. To tell you the truth, I'm not human.
You an elf? A dwarf? No, talking bollocks. I piss on the fact that they call you freak for your white hair and glowing eyes. You're a human like any other. We're fighting a war. And you, my friend, cannot straddle the fence.
What about the elves and dwarves in the trading post? The smiths, peddlers, and hunters? They eat with you, sleep among you. Whose side are they on?
Hell if I know. That's my point, Witcher. When you fight for survival, you need to be sure who your friends are. The non-humans in Flotsam, sure, they eat, fuck, shit among us. But when Yorveth sounds the battle horns, who knows what they'll do.
I'm surprised they haven't turned on you already.
How so?
The town guards treat non-humans like shit. Frankly, I don't know what keeps them here.
I'll tell you what, Geralt. The hunger they'd face in the forest. But I grant you, those acts of, insubordination need to be stopped. Soldiers are simple men. When you see your mate die, a Scoia'tael arrow in his throat, it's hard to look favourably at the elf who sells your wife coloured kerchiefs. You're a Witcher. Your job is to protect the simpletons from monsters. I protect them from the danger that lurks amongst the trees.
You detest non-humans.
I detest Yorveth, the coward who hunts the innocent instead of facing soldiers. I detest that whore son who murders women and children while claiming that he fights for freedom. He's a monster, Geralt. He's the evil I protect people from. And anyone who helps a monster becomes a similar monster to my mind.
Enough. I get it.
I don't want you to kill him. Even you don't have a hope against his entire force. I've an idea, but I'd rather not go into it now. The squirrels are up to something. Every night their scouts come closer. I suspect they plan to attack the barge moored in the port.
What's on the barge?
You mean who? Bandits, murderers, rapists. On their way to the dungeons at Drakenborg. As soon as...
Their infamous leader joins them. The cherry on the cake, and Bernard Laredo's crown trophy.
Couldn't have put it better myself. As long as Yorveth remains free, humans, elves, and dwarves will live alongside each other in deep distrust. I've got to learn what the pointy-eared rat is planning.
How am I supposed to get that information?
You underestimate me, Witcher. True, I have my prejudices, but I'm not blinded by them. Take your friend Zoltan, for instance. He contacted Yorveth.
How can Zoltan help if he can't go outside the walls?
Step by step, Geralt. That's how you build trust. You could start by tending to a problem we have. A beast. The Kairan has blocked all boat traffic. I'm losing tolls. That is, the trading post is losing revenue. Kill the Kairan and I'll declare your friends acquitted of their crimes. Then Zoltan can take you to see Yorveth.
I'm a Witcher. I don't work for free.
Of course you don't. Help us capture the Scoia'tael commander, and you'll be rewarded generously, straight from the trading post's treasury.
I'll see what I can find out.
Now you stir up storms wherever you go. I actually believe you'll bring peace to Flotsam. Don't disappoint this town, Geralt. Farewell.
No passage. No passage!
What treasures you got under there, darling?
Everything's where it should be.
Could you, prove it to me?
They say
For 10
witches have
orens.
no need to plough.
Only got 4.
Did you know
Or it
that?
gets you a peek, though not a long one.
I don't like.
Turned me away at the door, the bastard.
We'll meet later. Don't forget your weapons on the way out.
I tell him I'm taking your pouch. Or your life.
What did he say?
He said there's a third option. Then his hand inched towards his knife.
Nervy.
What then?
He got a bolt in the back. Too bad he turned out to be poor.
The poor ones are always uppity.
Lads, I was thinking about...
A notice board. Might find something interesting.
Now what?
Won't even wag my tongue.
Damn, that was close! Innkeep! Vodka!
Triss Marigold! Lice eat me, but you are a treat to behold. Just a little pale.
Magic takes its toll, but I'll be all right. Good to see you in your beard again.
Can somebody tell me what happened? You set off a month ago for Zoltan's wedding.
Lad got fucked. There will be no wedding.
Did you hear about Foltest?
Rumors travel faster than the wind.
Winds and rumors. I want to know the truth.
I want to know how Foltest died. And the dragon, was there really one there? And who rules Temeria now?
Dandelion, calm down. You'll choke on your liquor. Triss, you're the expert on Temeria. Tell us who's in charge now.
It's chaotic and getting worse. The old families are fighting for supremacy, no holds barred.
Baron Kimbolt and Count Mariville, I bet.
Among others. After the assassination, while Geralt was in the dungeon, the lords convened in a field near Lavalette Castle to choose a new ruler. 3 days they debated, and it looked more like a bazaar than a meeting of nobles. Except the trade was in court and ministry positions, spheres of influence, royal privileges.
Humans.
In spite of several duels and 2 poisonings, no king was chosen. Civil war was in the air.
Where were the mages?
Aye. Where were the grey eminences of this world when they were truly needed?
They weren't invited, and neither was I. But if not for their intervention, or rather that of a few influential sorceresses, Baron Kimbolt would have taken the throne.
I was invited to sing at his court once. Afterwards, he refused to pay me, and the food was awful. No way I'll stay in Temeria if he's crowned.
Did they ultimately resolve anything?
No, it ended as usual. Sadly, John Natalis remains our only hope.
Ah, the victor at Brenna, and Foltest's most tried and true field commander.
During the deliberations, he was several days' march from Lavalette lands, with an additional 2,000 armed men in tow. He's to keep the peace until a rightful monarch is chosen.
He could find that ruling is to his liking.
Natalis is a soldier at heart. He's not suited to rule, and I don't believe he even wants to.
He's got the army behind him.
Which is why he can guarantee peace. Well, a tenuous one, sure, but that's always better than civil war. Besides which, he's deeply in debt to a dwarven bank in which Philippa Eilhart as sorceress holds significant stake.
I think I've heard enough about politics. The dragon, well, the dragon appeared, and that's all I know.
But where did the Lavalettes get a dragon? We heard it fought on their side, huge as a barn, they say.
Dragons don't usually take sides. Maybe its lair was nearby and it just felt threatened.
If you hadn't driven it off, Foltest might not have taken the castle.
Maybe. We'll never know for sure. No wedding, Zoltan?
The Breckenrigs broke off the engagement because some limp prick put it about that I joined the uprising in Vizima. My would-be Popper-in-law refused to let a rebel firebrand join the family. And Kip, where's our drink?
It was like this. We got to Mahakam a week after the Grand Master died. Bought Zoltan an absolutely grand doublet, a pair of Garibaldi Krakau's, and as a gift for Eudora, a jade stone as big as my fist.
We were broke as a joke by the time Dandelion threw me a bachelor party at an establishment called the Tight Lane.
Next day, we went over to the Breckenriggs. They welcomed us in, sat us down, and proceeded to discuss the superiority of Mahakaman mining know-how over any other. And that went on until dinner. Just when I thought I'd learned more than I ever wanted to know about mining, they served the soup.
You could have held a pin drop. Old Breckenridge rose and he says, "A real dwarf works a mine, not chases fame on the battlefield."
You'll never believe this, Geralt, but they served duck blood soup. It was as black as tar. They must have dropped lumps of coal into the pot.
"Eat," Breckenridge says, then proceeded to slop 2 full bowls of the shite. Old goat. Hope his mind caves in on his head.
Since when have you worked for Roach?
Hey, nobody said a word when you went out to save Temeria from the Grand Master and his mutants.
Relax, Dandelion. I was just asking. Do what you want. You're an adult, kind of.
That wasn't very supportive.
Laugh away. At least I decided to do something constructive.
You used to spy for Redania. Now you're spying for Temeria. Some might call you a traitor.
Ever tried to live off of poetry alone? The truth is, I'm a citizen of the world. As long as I don't serve Emperor Emir, I'm not doing any harm.
Leave him be, Geralt. He'll play the spy a bit, get bored and drop it. You know how he is.
Laredo said you're working with the Scoia'tael, Zoltan.
I have done many things in my life, Geralt, but I have never stooped to banditry.
The Scoia'tael don't consider themselves bandits.
But I am no Scoia'tael.
Foltest's killer lay in wait in the tower, where the Lavalettes had hidden the royal bastards. He was well informed.
Wait a minute. What were you doing there?
I was protecting the king. After the first attempt, Foltest began treating me as his lucky charm. He ordered me to be at his side during the battle. The dragon separated us from the rest of the army. The killer disguised himself as a monk, a blind one at that. He let Foltest greet his children, waited until I had walked off, then cut the king's throat from ear to ear.
How did he flee?
Jumped out a window into the river below. Yorvith's Scoia'tael were waiting in a boat. It was planned.
And you're chasing him because he murdered the king?
I was accused of the murder. I need to clear my name. Besides, I looked him in the eye before he escaped. He's a witcher. Then some brave Temerian soldiers showed up, piled on me, and knocked me out.
Hey! Save yourselves, good folk! The beast attacks!
We better get out there. Someone's casting spells.
What sort of sorceress are you? A lot of good you did. Can't you hear me? Why didn't you help him?
He's alive, isn't he?
The beast nearly pulled him in the water while you stood staring like a calf at a shit-covered clover.
Watch your words.
Where's this beast?
Ask her.
Geralt.
Ah, I guess we knew each other.
Oh, look here. Birds of a feather.
Let's say I've heard of you.
Master Witcher, this is foolish. The beast near pulled Sozek into the depths, and you're simply chatting with this damsel.
Sozek's alive, and nowhere near the depths. The monster's vanished without a trace.
You best take her seriously, lest you vanish without a trace.
I'm tired of your whining. Get out of here.
Ah, as ever. It's the common folk that get ploughed. Come on, lads!
I apologize for interrupting, but I am Louis Merce, and I am chief person in charge of all matters related to monster hunting in Flotsam. It is in this capacity that I must inquire if you're willing to attempt to resolve the problem of our so-called Karen, the beast that now blocks all trade traffic on the river.
So, Witcher, are we willing?
I usually work alone.
I was here first, and I'll not relinquish this contract. My way or the highway, as the locals put it.
Fine. Your way it is.
You must contact the merchants on the waterfront as regards any rewards. Madame de Tanserville has, I believe, already conducted some preliminary negotiations.
That I have.
In that case, don't let me keep you.
Triss, how long must I wait for you to introduce us?
Sheila de Tanserville, advisor to Queen Zulika of Kovir.
Kovir's a long way north.
True. I had my doubts if the Kayran was worth the journey, but those were dispelled with what it showed today.
Here to hunt down some ingredients?
Triss Merigold. Sharp as ever.
You're thinking that...
Troll eyes, ghoul venom, virgin's blood, all those disgusting marvels we take from dying species. To throw into the cauldron at Sabbaths, right, Triss?
Absolutely. Virgins are a dying breed.
Oh my, your sense of humour seems to be intact too. But enough of these pleasantries. Tell me, Geralt, you saw the tentacle. What do you make of it all?
The beast must be huge. Maybe inhabited one of the Pontar's tributaries before, hunting animals. Then it grew for some reason, and hunger drove it to seek fresh pastures.
And on the Pontar it found trade barges burgeoning with obese, slow-moving merchants. You're partly correct. Cedric claims the Kayran emerged from the northern swamps approximately 1 month past.
Cedric?
An elf. Formerly a Scoia'tael. Strange bird. But he knows quite a bit about the area and its living wonders.
I need to look around, find out a few things.
An investigation. Witcher's rituals, extracting secrets and such.
More or less. I'll talk to the merchants about the reward, pay Cedric a visit and get back to you.
You'll find me at the inn. I've rented lodgings there, on the upper floor.
You know the inn's also a whorehouse.
Thanks for the warning.
Lads, listen up. What is it now, new boy? Am I always going to be new boy?
No, just till a new boy joins us.
And what will my nick be then? Dark Apostle, Harbinger of Anguish.
That prick Laredo turned his nose on me.
Bah! You'd think he was faultist himself, parading among his lessers.
Glad we made.
What do you want?
Heard you have a problem.
Ah, if only we had just one. Highways washed out, forests full of bandits, a river beast blocks the port, and tolls at a rise.
Can't help with the tolls, but the monster's a possibility.
The sorceress said the same, but we've yet to see any results.
She's asked me to work with her.
And who's to pay your wage?
That's what I'm here to discuss.
The sorceress was to manage alone. You can split that reward if you wish.
Well, we're managing it together now, so as I see it, you should double the reward.
You jest!
You'll double what you offered Lady de Tanserville, because that's what the contract's worth.
So be it. I assume you to be professionals and worth every last copper paid to you.
It's a deal. Now tell me what you know about the beast.
You're the Witcher, damn it! I've no knowledge of these things.
Who could tell me more?
That ploughing elf, Cedric, most probably.
He's supposed to know all about monsters.
Where can I find him?
In the village, outside the walls. Now leave me be.
Where might you be going?
What kind of question is that? Anyway, know where I can find an elf named Cedric?
Don't get involved in this.
The merchants are paying good money for killing the beast.
Coin is never the most important thing.
Maybe, but it's still pretty useful.
I don't trust her.
Sheila? Why not?
She's a powerful sorceress. Dangerous to her foes, even more dangerous to her friends.
I know you don't like her. Any specific reason?
I'm just trying to warn you.
Thanks. I guess I'll have to ask her.
How?
We're going hunting together, right after I find Cedric.
Well, then let's go see him. He should be at the top of his observation tower.
Take care of yourself.
In Belk. It'll be nearly a year now.
Moril would delight in a day like this, Saharim. Enjoy the memory of her. Don't wallow in the longing.
I try, I do. But I cannot believe all the bad blood this disappearance has bred.
Don't let other Shay poison your memory of her. Hatred is but an outlet for helplessness.
Thank you, Cedric. Vafail.
Vafail.
Are you Cedric?
Who asks?
Geralt of Rivia.
Ah, the Witcher. And?
Triss Marigold.
Lovely scent, Triss.
Cedric, look at me.
What do you want, Geralt of Rivia?
I need to make a few orens. You wouldn't happen to have a job for a Witcher, would you?
There's never a shortage of work for a Witcher in this forest. It's positively teeming with beasts. Though I'm not surprised they come here in droves.
Know why that is?
Cursed places attract all sorts of scum, like dung attracts flies. There was once a great house in the clearing. They locked up lunatics there. During the war with Nilfgaard, it was razed in a fire. The lunatics broiled in their cells. The ruins remain cursed to this day. 2 daredevils went off to explore the ruins recently. They haven't been seen since.
A great house, you say. Tell me more about the building itself.
It was an old manor house that was converted into a mental institution. There was no shortage of lunatics in wartime. They just kept coming. Reverend Mercey locked them up in there and looked after them. If you find the 2 people lost in the ruins of the mental asylum, you stand to be handsomely rewarded. By them or their families.
Doesn't really sound like a job for me. Thanks. The elf woman you were talking about. How did she disappear?
Saharim believes the forest took her.
What do you believe?
Moril simply vanished, almost a year ago now. Some say she was too beautiful, and Dwan must have harmed her.
You believe that?
If I have no evidence before me, I try to trust my feelings. And they tell me the forest did not take her.
Why would you keep that from Saharim?
Because it's meaningless. Perhaps she was murdered, perhaps she departed on her own, never to return. She's gone, and neither I nor Saharim can reverse that.
Who exactly are you?
One who warns humans against the dangers that lurk in the forest.
Care to clarify?
I am old, even for an elf. Yet the forest is older. I've lived in it for years and understand it, though it's nothing I can explain. At times I make mistakes and people don't come home.
So you help humans?
I just know if it's safe to venture beyond the gates or not.
Maybe I'll come back when you're sober.
You witches live a long life. You may indeed get to see that day.
What are the Scoia'tael fighting for?
Do you ask about the old ones, who hoped to restore our race to its previous glory? Or about the young ones, who fight for survival and out of suicidal revenge?
Yorvith's warriors. Which mold do they fit?
They believe they are still independent, and that there is but one just way to view their cause. In truth, however, they're but a shadow of the Enshay's former glory. They cling to delusions to the very moment when a sword or a noose ends their life, or until they realize the truth themselves. which is, I believe, the worst.
I aim to kill the Karen. Heard you might be able to help.
That depends on the sort of aid you seek.
I need information.
We should have killed it years ago. Now I don't know. The beast has become too large for the riverbed, and it has strange growths on its tentacles, extremely thick skin. Previously, it inhabited a swamp along one of the Pontar's tributaries. Completely wild terrain. Even the Scoia'tael don't venture there. You should go see the wreck of the boat it recently sank. Inspect any traces it's left. See the destruction.
Where's this wreck?
Venture south into the forest, then turn east toward the river. You'll find the ruins of a bridge erected long ago by the Enshe. The wreck lies at their foot.
Thanks, Cedric.
You'll find me by the boat wreck.
Jeez, Triss. Sure you're not overusing those teleports?
You'll betray no one else, Elvin bitch.
I don't know what you're talking about!
Commandant Laredo will explain everything.
You've no right!
What's going on here?
This whore's a Scoia'tael spy.
Any evidence?
What's it to you? Easy. She loiters around the garrison, kick-kitting us. Roderick says he bound her, but I don't believe that. I did!
That's your evidence?
2 of our lads are missing. Last seen with her.
I only spoke to them. Then they went off towards the caves. That's all I know.
The bitch is lying. She led them into an ambush.
This ought to be easy enough to resolve. Look inside the caves.
But they're crawling with all sorts of filth.
Do what you will. This is none of my business.
We'll take her to Laredo. He'll get the truth out of her.
Slaughter the freaks!
I wonder what's left of that wreck Cedric mentioned.
If the Karen attacked the boat, it's not likely to be much. We're looking for traces of the beast, not boats. See those footprints?
Yeah, strange place for an evening walk.
Unless you're looking for adventure.
I'm glad you're here.
My
I'm
medallion.
glad you're here.
Nice to run into some old friends.
Almost brings a tear to your eye.
Let's examine the traces of the killer and get out of here.
Wait a minute.
What are you going to do?
Cast a simple diagnostic spell. It should answer a few questions. This monster's sick, Geralt. It's dying.
How much time does it have left?
A few years? Perhaps a decade and change?
Too long. What's wrong with it? Any information could be useful.
The diagnostic spell showed that some of the cells in its body have mutated.
What makes you think it's dying? I mean, I'm a mutant.
The mucus cells I diagnosed are very similar to cancer cells. In some ways, they're more effective than healthy cells, but they're out of control. They converge to create a red tissue. Very unpleasant.
The poor thing.
But you brought up an interesting point. Want to know the core difference between mutants and non-mutants?
Of course I do.
The changes made through alchemy and magic in your body would require thousands of years to develop on their own. This development would result from genetic errors that would cause your body to adapt, become a more efficient organism, effectively mutate, but over a very long time. When this development occurs over millennia, across multiple generations, we proudly call it natural selection, evolution. When it occurs quickly, in a single organism or a few representatives of a species, we frown on it as mutation.
And here I thought you liked me. What else?
The Kharon's highly venomous.
Any ideas for an antidote?
Your Witcher's metabolism should neutralize small doses of the toxin. But if I were you, I wouldn't rely on my mutations alone. An Ostmark potion should do the trick.
I know the herb, but haven't the faintest where I might find it around here. I need to figure out how I want to fight the Kharon. Maybe I won't need the potion.
Do what you will, but don't say I didn't warn you. Sheila might be eager to get this done, but before you go see her, ask some of the locals about Ostmark. You could try Cedric. Here's the formula for the potion. I need to take care of some things. Manage without me for a while? See you.
Don't venture so...
Cedric, I need some ostmerk. It's a rare variety of moss, grows underground.
I know it. There are some caves to the south, deep in the woods. If ostmerk grows anywhere in the area, it will be there.
Greetings.
How many more can there be?